Hey everybody, and welcome back to Threat X3 Productions. Today we are going to be playing another round of zombies. Today I'm going to be going through a couple of the basics, as well as, basically what you should be doing within the first 10 rounds of the game, what you can be doing within the first 10 rounds of the game, and just some basic survival stuff. So, first off, if you're somehow new to zombies, the die machine can be pretty intense as far as, the close quarters and everything. So actually, tip number one for getting better at zombies is actually to play Onslaught. In Onslaught, you can play on a bunch of different maps, which is kind of cool. But most of the maps have pretty wide open areas, and so you can actually get used to the behavior of the zombies, the behavior of the boss, and you can kind of get used to that before going in full holds bar into the map itself. Not only that, but then maybe you can level up a few times, get a couple of new weapons for the creator class, so on and so forth. So that's actually tip number one. Obviously, you want to play Die Machine, try to get used to the layout of the map, but if you really want to get better at training the zombies and just the way they behave, Onslaught is a really good way of doing that. So that's tip number one. Then we're going to go into a little bit of the creator class. Right now, obviously, you can bring in one weapon. It's kind of cool that weapon could be literally anything. I could even bring in an RPG or a knife or a grenade launcher when I unlock it. So that's kind of cool. And then if you get the special edition of the Call of Duty, you can already have some blueprints unlocked. So for instance, I have this, and then as you can see, it gives me better accuracy and better ammo. And it looks cool. It's like America. Fuck yeah. But basically, figure out what gun you feel the most comfortable with. And, you can definitely use that. Especially if you also use that gun in multiplayer. It's probably good because even in zombies, you could be leveling it up. So that's kind of cool. However, if you want the most rootin' shootin'est gun, I do actually suggest to start with the shotgun. Now, obviously, there's this one that you can have, but either one does good if you don't have the special edition. Either one does good. Up until around 10, you could be just shredding through zombies left and right. Anything else, even a light machine gun, which you would think does a lot of damage, even that can sometimes, once it gets to round 5, 6, 7, you're still stuck with the stock weapon and not a common or a rare weapon. And so that can actually be a big problem. So shotgun is the way to go. However, if you're brave enough and you want to take some chances, the knife is a one-shot kill up until round 10. Not only that, but that's how you get the most points. For a regular kill, you get 90 points for a kill. For headshots and melee, you get 115. So if you want to be farming for points so you can get the most points and be the most efficient, either headshots or melee. And since this melee goes until round 10, if you're feeling up to it and you're used to the way the zombies act and you can train them really good, having a knife until round 10 is actually really good. And then you'll have plenty of money saved up so you can get a weapon so that you can do the mystery box maybe a couple of times. You've already done a lot of stuff, so that's good. Now, what should you be working towards? Obviously, you have all these, and what's the best to do? This actually I do feel like is more of a personal preference. Frost Blast, it does a little bit of damage, but it really just slows enemies down. Energy Mine is basically just a proximity mine. Ether Shroud makes you invisible for 5 seconds, so this is really good for You know, if you're in a pinch and maybe you're backed up into a corner, you have nowhere to go, pop this and they'll just start walking away from you, and then you can find an opening and get the hell out of there. Healing Aura, pretty self-explanatory. You just heal yourself, but it also works for teammates, so that's always good. And then Ring of Fire, also kind of self-explanatory. Normal enemies who enter gain a burning effect that deals fire damage, lasts 15 seconds. And each one of these you can upgrade to your heart's content. But you might think, what is worth the aetherium crystals? The aetherium crystals takes a while to get just one. So which one should I start investing in? It's a great question. So I think, once again, it's down to your personal preference. However, there are a couple of these that really don't get good until the third one. So here we go. Frost Blast. Blast lasts 3 seconds longer, continuing to slow enemies. So this is good for a little bit more duration. The second one is good because it increases your maximum charges to 2. So now you can do it 2 times instead of 1. And then double the size and double the damage. So that's pretty good. Increase maximum charges to 2. So now with only 1 crystal, you increase your charges to 2 rather than, 3 crystals. Double the size of the blast. Mine detonates 2 times in rapid succession. So this might be good, especially in higher rounds when you can bunch them together. Not only do you have 2 charges, but it explodes 2 times. So this could be really, really good for crowd control. So if you're the type of player that likes crowd control, then this might be for you. This is much more maybe of a solo where you want to disappear and get away from a crowd if you're ended up getting backed up into a corner. But the tiers of it, activation instantly reloads ammo of your weapon. So that's good. That's just kind of there for the heck of it. Increase shroud duration for 8 seconds. Or 8 seconds. So that's 3 extra seconds. It's not +8, it's only +3 technically. So activation instantly warps you forward a small distance. So this could be good, once again, if you're backed up into a corner, surrounded by a horde, and maybe you have a boss coming towards you. Do this and you can teleport on the other side of them. So not only are you teleported away, but they also can't see you. So this could be really good. So I feel like this might be good for solo running. If you're solo running and you're just trying to survive to the highest round you can, this might be good. Healing Aura, I feel like this is a definite co-op must. If somebody's running this with, either 2 to 4 players, this would be really good because, especially in a pinch, popping this and healing you and your friends could be really good. So let's go through the tiers. You and allies gain a regenerative healing effect that lasts 10 seconds. So this summons a beam down on yourself and allies instantly heal to full health. Oh, okay, so the difference between when you first press it to tier 1 is that it lasts an extra 10 seconds. So, okay, that makes sense. Beam knocks down normal enemies and stuns special and elite enemies. So that's good. Beam revives down allies. So this would take up to 6 crystals to be able to revive. But once again, this has to be co-op because it would be good solo, but probably just not as much. And then fire, I feel like this would be good on your own, sure, but it would be more effective if somebody was running this in a co-op type of situation. Maybe somebody has Ring of Fire and somebody has Healing Aura. Just to kind of round out the team or something. So you get double burn effect damage on tier 1. Ring blocks enemy projectiles. This could be good for bosses, obviously. While in the ring, ammo is taken from your stock instead of your magazine. So this that's interesting. I don't understand what that has to do with Ring of Fire. I feel like they just threw that in there for the hell of it instead of trying to come up with something interesting. But, Then we have our skills. Weapon classes. You can go through all of the weapon classes and increase them with different tiers. And for instance, I'm going with the shotgun because that's what I'm running a lot, is the shotgun. So increase close quarters damage by 10%, increase critical damage by 10%, increase armor penetration by 10%. So each one has almost the same thing. Some of them instead have unlocked 3 additional attachments. Replace gun butt with Bowie knife. So there's a couple of these. This is 100% up to the player. What is your play style? Obviously, if you have a stock SMG or a stock pistol, so on and so forth, it'll do a little bit extra damage, but So it's really up to your play style. But this is also going to work with green, blue, purple, orange guns. So it's actually kind of worth, leveling up what you like the most. If you like running the light machine gun, focus on this. So not too many tips and tricks here that I can give away, just because it's really up to you in this particular stance. Then we have field upgrades. These are your... Oh, no, sorry. And then we have your perks. Juggernaut, Speed Cola, Quick Revive, Stamina, Elemental Pop, and Deadshot Daiquiri. But once again, which one should you invest in? Juggernaut is the obvious choice right off the bat. Reduce status effect durations by a 50%. Armor plates replenish 25% additional armor. Increase maximum health to 100. So just the regular one is increased by 1 or by 50. So that gets you to 200 health. Then if you level this up all the way, you get to 300 health. That plus armor, you're going to be pretty much unstoppable. So definitely focus on this first. And then I'd say if you mainly play co-op, Quick Revive is an obvious one to focus on second, probably. Speed Cola is probably a good third. Stamina Up is a good fourth. And then personal preference on these. And these are probably another... Really, it's up to you, because this is definitely a play style type of thing. Napalm obviously is fire. Double burn effect all the way up to the top. So it's really just incremental things. Real damage, slow enemy speed decreased by 50. So this is really like, so this one puts them on fire. This one zaps them and possibly, stuns them in place. This one slows them down, and this one turns them to your side. So this one, once again, is personal preference. I can't really give too many tips here other than, really read through them and figure out what do you want to focus on. Because, like I said, aetherium crystals, not that common. So that'll do it for this video. Click above to get to the next part, which is getting to round 10. A guaranteed way to get there and all the stuff you can do along the way.